And as I keep saying, this has to become a part of our culture, that we find a way to demonstrate to, the powers that be, that we're not happy. We can't just continue to have our money being used, by certain people. There are people who already have an advantage in life, and yet they want to get advantage piled upon advantage. The people in Barbados that have all of these advantages, instead of trying to benefit from the little that is here, why don't you use your advantage and go out? That's what other people in other countries do. The people who have advantage, like Apple and Microsoft, they go out and invest and bring money back into the United States. But you have in the Caribbean certain groups that they have done well, they have wealth, and they're not going anywhere. They just they just continue to feed off of the poorer people in the society. It's like being a parasite.
Correct.
So you're not adding anything. I mean, you're here, you have wealth, you have resources, and all you're trying to do is to continue to get little jobs that somebody know coming up should get. You should be out doing other things. Not that somebody
Yes.
that is new in a business trying to get a little government pick here and there. You find people who are well off in Barbados, who've been in business for years, who've had big contracts, and they're still picking around trying to stop a little fella that no coming out from getting a little contract somewhere. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's nothing to be proud of. It's nothing to be proud of being a big fish in Barbados. Barbados is small, just about 280,000 people, and you feel smart because you're running a business and all you're doing is, buying and selling. And when you don't make as much money as you think you should, you just carry up the price so that you can make more money. There's nothing to admire. Go
Correct.
outside and earn some
Yeah.
foreign exchange.
Correct. And I think that we're supposed to think you're such a big entrepreneur. you know,
Yeah,
uh,
big entrepreneurs and big business, that's nonsense.
correct.
All you are here doing is just living off of poor people.
Correct.
But the only
Correct.
thing what you notice about that is that generations live off of poor people, and they literally pay starvation wages to the people who make them rich. Look at these big businesses in the Massey stores um and the like, Collins Limited. They when the owners then decide, well, they're retiring and they don't want to hand over the black people in Barbados, they sell it overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and they sell it to either friends and family overseas, or they sell it to other interests overseas that don't look like us, because they wouldn't want to see their business in black hands. And this is
Correct.
and this is nothing new. When I was a little boy, and I wasn't aware of what was going on basically when independence came about. But I remember the white people start leaving Barbados in droves because they don't want to live in a country that had a black government. And Barra tricked them. Barra said, well, look, we can still have the Queen as our head of state. So some of them stayed because of that. The Queen had no power in Barbados since 1966. Or the British government had no power in Barbados since 1966. But they believed that. So that kept some money here. Some of them went to New Zealand and work on pig farms rather than work in Barbados and have a black man as the head of government. I had a black. So it is the Barbados condition.
Yeah.
But
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 you.
those American companies, um, people say this is not America, but those American companies go abroad, sell whatever it is that they're selling, whether it is Facebook or whatever, and you look at cell phones, computers that we're on, and you see how they enrich Americans. You look at you see their office facilities. They're able to build those facilities because of all the money that they're collecting from people around the world. But our people seem content to just to just stay here and make a few dollars off of us,
No,
keeping us poor at the
unless
same time, and they get every single incentive possible from government in order to do better.
BTM might take it to New York to sell chicken.
But I mean, and it all comes back to the oppression of the poor. That's what it comes to, and this is why we are going out on Saturday, March the 12th. I mean, sorry, August the 12th. We're marching. We're marching on August the 12th. At least, actually, 1 year since the Prime Minister said that there was nothing wrong with the NIS. There was no NIS was not in crisis. I think it's ironic that that's the day that Barbados will go out and march, right? Because they said, listen, we need greater accountability. We are not with this NIS money. Okay, and we are not going to be working until we are 68. It is not happening in Barbados. I wonder if you are serious, because I'm serious, And I'm going out there walking in a hot sun if you're not serious, If you are serious, then I'm serious. You understand? I going out there. Lynette, you going? Lynette, you going to be out there? Lynette said, of course, her mic muted. Mr. Franklyn,
No, of course, but I can't tell people to come out and march and I'm not there. I assume that the people I invited would be looking for me.
Yes, you're there, so that you hear what Lynette said, the people she invited. Who have you invited to come on the march? And when they tell you, oh, marches don't work and whatever, no, they listen. They listen. They don't want you to march. In the Senate today, one of them said it's not necessary to march. Why would they want to tell you it's not necessary to march? If it didn't matter, why would they be saying it's not necessary to march? Because they're scared of you marching. Anytime they tell you not to march is when you march. Make sure you're marching, because it means that they're worried.
They have to learn that they can't just do what they feel like and believe. Well, I don't know. I have to say, well, I don't know. They seem to feel we're clowns. That
no,
they could just do what they feel like.
They feel we're idiots, not just clowns, idiots, and they feel that they can
idiotic clowns.
Yeah, give us a red T-shirt and $100 rubber band every 5 years, and we're gonna be happy about that. And you should see the and mind you, they give you a fit every so often. They go out there and expose yourself. And the thing, what really sickens me is that we have young people in Barbados who think that walking out there and disgracing themselves publicly, and then if you see them walking on the road the following week and when block the dress, they can pull it down very fast. But they sort of have this sort of in something big as my hand as a panty, and walking on the road, but the government encourages that. The government promotes it. Have you seen this government doing anything that is uplifting for the people of this country? When did they organize a classical music symposium? When did they organize a lecture that will teach people things? When did it? Now they want you to be jump up wild, like the prancing in front, devil worship kind of behavior. That is what they want you to have. You got to tell them, look, use your mind, use your brain. Stop letting people use you. And come out and stand up for yourselves. You will not get another chance, because if these changes happen, they will hurt you when you can least afford it. Today I went to just to visit some nurses and stuff. And one of them said to me, Mr. Franklyn, you can see a nurse turning those patients at 68. Because I was talking about the firemen and the police and stuff, but she told me, Mr. Franklyn, the nurses can't do it either. You can't take a nurse. So they're locked. So when they do this madness, they do it without thinking. They just look at numbers and say, okay, you're going, the good book says you can get 3 score and 10, we can get 2 years of pension, it will pop off. And they make care that how you can live, if you live after the 3 score and 10, or if you get sick and unable to work before that period, they don't care. There are lots of jobs. You see a fella digging wells at 68. You see a fella driving a bus at 68. At 50 something, you can't even see good by the night, and you can ask them if I to work at 68.
But even like artisans, a painter, you expect a painter to still be climbing a ladder, you know?
Not without
Masons, carpenters. And the thing is, the majority of Barbadians are in jobs like the ones we're talking about: sanitation workers, nurses, policemen, prison officers, firemen, all the artisans that you could think about, painters, carpenters, tailors, all of these people. You know, they might do a little job when they reach that age. You know, somebody in the neighborhood might say, John, I know you're still a good tailor, man. Come in here and help me. Yes, they might go and do that because the person will understand, yeah, they're coming to help and they're going to take as long as they need to take. But doing that to earn a living is a completely different thing. You know, they're lawyers who continue to work, you know, but you will find that you will start hearing people say, well, he only comes in twice a week. He only comes in the morning, leaves early. You know, all those kind of things start to happen because even though you might think that like being a lawyer is a desk job, it may still require you to go from court to court, to drive from Horse Hill down to St. Matthias, and then you gotta run again the High Court. You know, I have seen older people who might have been into politics come back out and try to do it, and it's difficult to do. Mm-hmm. So even people who have those kind of desk jobs, it's going to be difficult for them. Somebody who's a seamstress, somebody who does hair, standing up on your feet for the whole time while you're doing somebody's hair, you know, those things are going to be difficult.
Yeah, that's why I call it elder abuse, is what it is. You know, it's sanctioned elder abuse by the government, and it's crushing poor people. And that's why we're coming out on Saturday, August 12th. And as someone says here, if they could have come out to march against NSRL for the merchants, they came out in their thousands, right? Right. So why can't you come out now for poor people, Barbados?
I'll give you a story about this NSRL march. When they called me and asked me to participate, I refused. I said, and if anybody from Unity Workers Union participate, they don't have the backing of Unity Workers Union, they will have left the job without the sanction of the union, they could be dismissed. I am not going against it because it was one of the better taxes. It forced people to pay taxes, people who would steal the VAT, they couldn't steal the NSRL, and that is why they wanted it off. And I remember representing a young lady who they wanted to dismiss. Well, they finally dismissed her. But they gave them pay. The merchant, the store owner, gave the staff pay to go to the march. You go to the march, they pay you. You got paid.
Because it was about them. It was about the merchants.
They had the signing books at Queen's Park. So you signing for work at Queen's Park, and you went on the march. Well, this one young lady, she was at work one morning. She's a young girl, 20-something years old. And they called her to say, about 10 o'clock that morning, come to the hospital and see her mother for the last. The mother was on her way out. So she told the people what was happening, and she rushed off to the hospital, and she was able to speak to her mother for a few minutes before she died. young little girl, 20 somebody years old, mother died, she ain't can work the next day. You know what to do? They paid her for 2 hours the day when she went to the hospital to see her mother, and she didn't get paid for the next, but she got paid in March. I will never forget that. You people are being used and you like it. You got to stop this foolishness and stand up for yourself sometime. Mind you, I was able to get a good settlement for the lady, so in the end, so I don't feel too bad about that. You know?
The poor people fighter for the poor people.
Yeah.
You know, somebody here saying that Liz Thompson, that she sought to justify why parliamentarians' pension need to remain at the year at 50 years. And while the people are saying that they have a problem, you all recognize what is happening here. This is the people that we put there, you know. And the people are telling them that they have a problem with them getting pension at 50. And they go in there and try to justify it. Do you all see what is going on here?
But if you remember David Ellis's program, Brass Stacks, 2 Sundays ago, Colin Jordan was saying, oh, the Prime Minister said it needs to change. Now her henchwoman is saying otherwise. You believe Colin Jordan?
Right, right. That's true. He was saying that they're going to change it, but no, she is justifying why it needs to remain at for them, because they must get pension twice, right? We pay pension twice at 50 and 68, and that is fine. Wow. Well, Belgians will have to decide.
Well, if they don't decide, they will perish. And if they don't decide and they come out and march, get used to ramen. That's all I can tell them. I've never eaten it yet, so I can't really complain and say it tastes bad. But I hear about it. And I tell you, if you don't come out and stand up against this government, acquire a taste for ramen. Because that is all you're going to be able to afford on the pension that they give you.
I tell you.
I would like each person out there who is listening, who plans to come to the march, or even, I don't know, maybe you have an appointment, you can't come. I think it is still necessary for you to reach out individually to, you know, friends, family, and ask them to come with you. You know, say to them, trust me, this is important. Explain to them. Bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people with you. Not because sometimes, you know, you might be talking to this person afterwards, and you might say, well, I don't understand why people didn't come. The person might say, well, I wanted to go, but you didn't ask me anything. I didn't know when you were going. And then you might be there saying, oh, well, I could have given you a lift. So you need to say to people, would you like to come? I'm going, I can give you a lift, or meet me there. I will meet you by X place and we'll go together. Something like that. But I think the direct outreach for those of us who are going, if you can bring along, well, not people like Caswell, because he would bring along far more people, but individuals, you know, reach out to a brother, a sister, a cousin, a friend from school, you know, get them to come. Reach out to them directly.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the task.
Ricky Straker is asking the question, will workers lose 9% per annum for claiming an NIS pension early in the proposed reform up for the current 6%? The answer to that is yes. The thing is, they are trying to discourage you from claiming early as well. Because if you claim early, you cannot, when you reach 68, your pension don't go up. It remains at that deduction. So if you lose, right now, if you claim 2 years early, you lose 12%. 3 years early, 18%. And a lot of people cannot claim early for this reason. national insurance does not pay. I think it is 230 something or 230 for a week or something like this. If they make the deduction for the 6% or the 18% or the whatever percent it is, and it brings you below the lowest contributory pension, then they wouldn't allow you to claim early. So they're making sure that the poor people can't get the pension early. And if you could afford to lose the 9% as it will be now over a year, 93, 27, if you could afford to lose 27% of your pension as you claim 3 years early, you could then you're never ever going to get it back. It's not going up to 100% when you reach 68. It will stay there. So there's always a catch to it. I don't know if that catch is explained to people, but it is very real. You do not get it back. Right? Somehow it don't jump up.
Yeah. Thanks, Caswell. This person is, before we close, about 5 minutes, but I thought we need to address this. This gentleman is saying, well, I hope you all listened to Liz when she broke down the pensions of the other countries. And I'm not sure if this person is Barbadian, but we are speaking about the pensions in Barbados. Okay, we are talking about Barbados. Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I thought the thing got stuck there. We're talking about Barbados. And so you need to take this message back to Liz, because it seems like you are very familiar with her. And let her know that in the same way that she would tell us what all the other countries are giving in terms of the years that they get their pension, the MPs in other countries, and that Barbados is comparable. I want her to look at all the other countries as it relates to the 68 years. America is 60, isn't it? Am I wrong? Am I right or wrong? Is it 60 or 62?
I'm not sure.
For America, okay? And even the same France, the people burning down the place, that was 63, 5 years more less than Barbados. So why doesn't she do a comparison on that end? Why is she comparing the MPs? Sir, this is about Barbados, and the people of Barbados are saying what they want, and that's all that matters. Okay? Right. I don't know if any of you else want to address that.
Not me.
Okay. Canada is 65. So I don't know why doesn't she compare? You tell her that she needs to compare on the other end as well. Okay? All right, guys, we're closing. And anybody has any questions, we just want to say that we are at 3,367 signatures for the petition. And the petition, the link is in the chat here. We've been putting the link in all night, and it's running here on the screen. I know it might be hard to catch it, but it's also in the chat. Okay, and I'm going to try to replace it, to put it right there back in the chat. Okay, America is 62. I'm hearing. Tell Liz that America is 62. Let's compare. All right, America is 62. Carmela says she signed the petition and shared, and she will continue. Guys, do not give up because they have passed it. It means nothing to you. Nothing to us. Okay? We're going to continue. We're not going to stop. We're not for it. Stand for something, right? Somebody say, please play the song, We Shall Overcome. You heard that, Mr. Franklyn? Because listen, give us your suggestions. We want to hear from you. We shall overcome. All right. Now, we are going to, tomorrow, we're going to be here at 7 o'clock. Lynette is doing a special program, which we're going to try to tap into as well, Mr. Franklyn. She's doing one on the integrity legislation. And so what we're going to still hear her by way of her program, and we're going to connect it all here so that you on the Marcia Week show here, you'll be able to hear a bit of Lynette's program tomorrow because we're working together. All right, but we're going to come on, and Mr. Franklin and I, by God's grace, will be on at 7 and hear your suggestions of how, for the march, etc. It's your march, and we want you to be part of that, and so on. And I believe, am I to say about what's happening tomorrow morning, Mr. Franklin? I say, oh, you sent me something.
Yes, well, that's the press conference tomorrow at 11 at my office. I've invited the media, and I try to make sure the government don't call a press conference first, because what happens, my experience is that when we arrange a press conference, then the Prime Minister hold on fast, and the media rush all the Prime Minister and left me with some very junior reporters who don't ask questions. So I'm very sorry that I had to hold it to my vest to lay it, but make sure the government don't call a press conference first. That's what they actually do, and so I've been bitten by them before. So I don't advertise press conferences now way in advance, because next thing you know, they got some fact, they got something, they might even arrange a shooting. So I managed to send it out tonight, and hopefully they don't arrange a press conference tomorrow morning.
Yes. Well, go ahead, Lynette.
Yes, I just wanted to say that what we're doing in our group, which is the Center for Rights and Responsibilities, is discussing the Integrity in Public Life Bill, which is a bill that is also before the Senate. And the question, in listening to the presentation, the question which you have to ask yourself is whether or not the contents of this bill can really address the issues that we want to address, which would be, how do you prevent those in public office, just let's use that term, those in public office from abusing the position which they have, and whether or not this bill actually covers it. So, we're going to be looking at the measures which they've put in place, which is basically filing a statement of financial affairs, filing a statement of registrable interest. Then there are penalties involved. There are investigators. You have the Integrity Commission itself and how it is set up and how it's appointed, because all of these different moving parts help you to determine whether or not the legislation is going to be effective. So that is the question that we're asking. And all of these things are linked because, for example, if someone were in public office, if someone were managing to get fees or whatever out of a project, that should be, well, you see, these are the issues because the assets aren't actually going to be made public. They're going to go to a commission or a panel. So that is just to give you an idea of what we will be discussing in that bill and the questions that we have to ask ourselves as Barbadians, and you have to ask yourself, because it can't just be a tick the box. We pass integrity legislation. We're the ones that did it. The issue is whether or not it is effective and enforceable. So that's what we'll be working on. And of course, I'd be very, very happy if all of you could join us. And I'd like to thank Marcia for the opportunity of linking with her platform in order to do this presentation.
Lynette, you have you have the Integrity Commission and the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago High Court case on number 1735 of 2005.
No, I don't have that.
Because you need to see that, because the Attorney General of Barbados is using that case to say that the judges have their jobs protected in the Constitution, so you couldn't put them under the integrity and public life thing. That decision said no such thing. What that decision said was that yes, their terms and conditions are in the Constitution, so you cannot pass ordinary legislation to put them under the integrity and public life bill. You will have to amend the Constitution.
Yeah.
That is what the court said. But
Yeah.
the Attorney General didn't say that much. He said, "Oh, the courts rule that you can't put the judges in the thing," and that is unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm assuming that he's saying though, it would be so for future judges, but
No,
he's
but
saying
that
no.
was
But
it.
I still take the point that you're making because that's correct. Because once you pass the legislation by the appropriate majority, as you pointed out on one of these programs, you can do just about anything.
You know, but no, that's because I find that they're not telling you the whole truth. They're telling you things that will make you go the way they want you to go, or what
Yeah.
they want you to believe, without telling you this is the whole truth and nothing but the
So
whole
you
truth.
said that is AG against?
It is the Integrity Commission and the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, because they
Okay.
brought the matter for a judge to rule on it.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
It is
Sorry.
you can.
I figure I should be able to find it though.
It is 1735 of 2005. If you
Yeah.
want, I can always email it. You can have it here.
Okay. All right. I'll reach out to you.
Good.
Okay. All right. Well, we just want to thank everybody for joining on behalf of Caswell, myself, Lynette. I want to thank Mrs. Corbin. Oh, that was so moving for coming on and sharing with us tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to be on at 7 again. And myself, Mr. Franklyn, will be here. Lynette will be coming in via her program. We'll get to hear her tomorrow. And on Friday we are here again because we're going to hold the fourth. We're holding on because we got the 10 o'clock Saturday morning, right? So we're not. This is not a joke. All right. So we'll be here 7 o'clock to meet you tomorrow evening. Okay. Thank you all, and please keep sharing. Please keep signing the petition and share this live in your chat. Share the petition in your chats. And tell people, let's get to 5,000 by tomorrow night with the petition, okay?
Yeah.
God bless you all and have a good night.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.